can see this is all new. Everything is new in the Mk8 GTI. Nothing is carried over from the previous Mark 7 and Mark 7.5. Let me give you a little bit of history. It all started with the Mark 1 many years ago. Small, agile, very light, bags of fun. I had one, and then after that I sold it, and then I got another one. And till today, no regrets in owning a Mark 1 GTI. Then there was a Mark 2. I also had one of those. More refined, better power, better handling in terms of composure. And today it's one of the most sought after hot hatches in the market. Values are skyrocketing. Then you had the Mark 3. The Mark 3 was a bit of a disappointment in terms of design. Not to my liking. It was rather bland. The engine was carried over, and then they had a slightly upgraded engine. Then of course they introduced the VR6, but it still didn't have that magic substance. Then came the Mark 4. Now the Mark 4 had a more progressive design. It was one of the most popular hot hatches in the world. It sold in the millions. But I had one, but I wasn't very happy with it simply because it didn't have, again, that styling that says, hey, I can keep this for some time. Then I got invited to Europe for the launch of the Mark 5 GTI. Bang! That was a car that blew me away. The Mark 5 GTI was definitely over-engineered by the Volkswagen people. It carried so much refinement, much better engines, and till today, that car, it's a very hard car to beat in terms of power, handling, delivery, interior comfort, and I would say even the style. I still look at it and say it's modern. Now comes the Mark 6 and Mark 7, which were basically tweaked versions of the Mark 5. It wasn't a great push up in terms of quality and refinement and everything else, but they tweaked it enough to make it interesting enough for many people around the world to buy. Now in between that, a lot of the competition came out. Cars like the Mazda MPS, the Ford Focus ST, BMW had a 1 Series, Mercedes had an A-Class, which evolved into a hot hatch. But the GTI still stayed on top because it was already a very good product. It was already very refined, fast, good handling, and that old GTI sound. Now comes the Mark 8. As you can see, it's a lot of tech. It's nice to look at, but my age group, I'm not a big fan of all this tech. Maybe others are, but I'm not a big fan of all this tech. But it's easy to use. Everything is swipe and go. You've got navigation. You've got 5 options for ambient lighting. You got 5 options for exterior colors. Volkswagen has done a lot of work to give this GTI enough choices for the buyer, whether in Malaysia or overseas. But what's the most important feature of any Golf GTI? It's power delivery. It's the ability to extract a lot of entertainment from a 2-liter turbocharged engine. And of course, its handling, which this car delivers very easily. So the magic of the hot hatch and Golf GTI remains with the Mark 8. So like I said, you've got a lot of features, easy to use screen. Of course, you got to get used to it. First few days you'll find a little bit of difficulty trying to work it out, but once you get it, it's easy. Then you've got this lovely, predictive touch buttons on the steering wheel, which controls the meter cluster. You can change it to suit so many different views. All this is great, technology is great, but they've removed all the buttons, all the knobs that we have become accustomed to in the GTI. Also, the tartan seats are gone. I prefer cloth seats. I'm not a big fan of leather seats, especially in a hot hatch. But at the end of the day, you've got 245 horsepower, more than the previous model, 370 Newton meters of torque, again more, and you've got a 0 to 100 acceleration time of just above 6 seconds. which this car delivers a sensation of being faster. If you look at the figure, it says 6 seconds, but when you drive it, you think more like, hey, 5 seconds. Well, 1 second doesn't make a big difference, but in this hot hatch, it's all about driving enjoyment.